Hey groupers, Pastor Marshall here out in the prayer garden to talk about the garden. Got a tree behind me here and another tree behind me here to talk about the two different trees in the garden. Well, enough of those shenanigans. If you were to add a spiritual gift to the spiritual gifts list that would describe you, maybe not in a positive way, but like a dwarf or like a smurf, what would your spiritual gift be? I shared with you on Sunday that Claudia says my spiritual gift is argument. What is yours? Well, our story in Genesis 3 starts with Satan questioning God's statement. I wonder if you could brainstorm, what are some examples from our culture today that do the same thing, that question God's statements? And then Satan follows that with a half-truth that he throws at Eve. And so these would be different. I'm looking for different answers here. What are some examples of half-truths that Satan uses today to tempt the people of God? Eve quotes God in verse 3. I want you to compare her quote to the original. That's in Genesis 2:17. What is the same? What is different? And does it matter? Is it significant, this difference? And then I want you to turn in your New Testament to the book of James, James chapter 1, verse 13. I want you to read James 1:13. And then what is the difference? Answer the question, what is the difference between a temptation and a test? What are some differences between a temptation and a test? Where do they come from? Who gives them? What are the differences? In what way, or in what ways, you get to answer that question, would Adam and Eve become like God if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? In what way or in what ways would they become like God if they ate from that tree? And then I want you to turn in your New Testament to John 1 John 2, verses 15 through 17. How do we see this scripture fulfilled in Genesis 3? What parallels are there to Jesus' temptation in Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11? And then finally, what does Mark Moore call these three different temptations in Core52? How does he label them? Well, after that, I want you to read the punishment in Genesis 3, verses 7 through 19, and answer these three questions. What is the internal punishment? What is the external punishment? And what is the eternal punishment that Adam and Eve and the serpent receive? And then finally, last question that I will author, I'm sure Jack will have some more. What promise of salvation do we find at the end of the story of the fall? Be reminded of our application. Every week in Core 52, we have a little living to do, a little real life stuff. And this week, we're being challenged to find a close friend and to confess a sin. Not going to be easy, but I hope that you'll join me in following this path. Well, I hope that you have a great group. God bless.